another selection of poetry by Dr. Sidney Rosenblum, these belonging to the period post-Angina Dialogues. The Turtle. You turned me on my back, exposed me to the blistering sun. I think of the icicles around your heart. I did not see the upside down coming. Oh, if I could reverse gravity. Who I am. Part oral, part literal. A surviving and thriving vestige of history. My scattered limbs reconstitute themselves after each death. A spirit kept between the pages of an ancient book. I have come back to life after thousands of deaths, not as a corpse, but as a flaming candle. I am the persecuted, the comical, the magical, and the philosophical, the baker of fine breads, the songwriter. I sprang from the loins of the God that gave me my name, my task, my duty. I am the wanderer, the seeker, the explorer, the adventurer, the victim, the survivor, the teller of stories, of myths made into monuments. I am the ancient wind and the blistering desert, the man without shelter, the prayers that followed me into the holocausts, the lost, the redeemed, the pious, and the rebellious. The sage, the mystic, the carrier of God's code, I am certain. Doubtful, generous, willful, and covetous. I have spanned the centuries without my ancestors, forged my way, in circumstances designed to defeat me, annihilate me. I am as invisible as the wind, as visible as the buildings that bear my name. I am defeated, victorious, endlessly looking for where I belong. I was supposed to be a footnote, an asterisk in the book of history, but I wrote my own chapters. My co-author, my ghostwriter, the God of all gods, who whispered in my ear. He who follows my ways writes a new chapter in the book of life. Though you may die generation after generation, your ashes will not be scattered. No wind shall carry them away. Instead, they will become a song that you sing to your children, a lullaby of pain, sorrow, and joy. The Pelican's Eyes. Editor's note: this was written shortly after the Deepwater Horizon spill, which affected the author greatly. The Pelican's eyes, glazed with crude, helpless, bewildered. Grounded, how heavy oil must be on feathers meant to be light as the wind. The last harvest. Soon the harvest will be over. The tomatoes proved the promise of their color, and so much was good in this our season's end. How bitter the stones we found in the east garden. How broken we were with the early snow. How little we were able to keep, but that is gone now. We had so many harvests, from bounty to calamity. The moon was always there. From time to time I consulted the stars. They were clueless. How vegetables and people can surprise, disappoint, astound, mostly baffle. The garden is the place we grow ourselves, our dreams embedded in acid and sweet soil. Our experiences, like food, for better or worse, sustains us. Because it must. Hopefully there will be another harvest. Normal. If you find you are more angry than you have to be, more disappointed than you want to be, and more depressed than you should be, consider yourself normal. Hearing voices. I hear many voices in my head. They quarrel, sometimes rage, or succumb to a sadness beyond comprehension. Their purpose unknown to me. They take up residence as if they own the place, my mind, so often cluttered with their disputations. They exhort and hound me like a politician's solicitation for money. They seem so unhappy, without grace or consideration, interrupting me at all hours of day and night. I have sought refuge on the therapist's couch, to some degree of relief. These mongrel thoughts petition me relentlessly. I have decided to ignore them. America is a gas station next to a dynamite factory. Eye contact. If you make eye contact with a desperate man, you may be looking in the mirror. And lastly, the origins of my feelings. I have these voices in my head. They come with images, as a drop-down menu. I trace what I think are their origins. At the same time, my body has feelings. I begin to cry. Sadness permeates, silent crying. I am suddenly alone in a vast open space, a desert. There is no shade or comfort. Howling winds, wrapped in half darkness, I see the ruins of my childhood. The broken promises, the disappointments, the darkness that came without words, that plunged me into eternal complexity. It was not my doing, but how to undo myself. Blame and anger, the weeds of any emotional garden, lay scattered on my mind. I seek redress, but no one to take responsibility, no one to blame. Alone in my garden of darkness, I sigh a relief of this pain. In my resignation, I found it. And that again, a selection of poems by Dr. Sidney Rosenblum, as read by me, Aaron Banfield, August 2022.